What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another video. Picking up where we left off yesterday. Go check that video out. Installing the turbo, the exhaust manifold, the turbo, and the wastegate and stuff. Wasn't able to install the downpipe. I feel like I explained it, but it wouldn't fit. Doesn't fit through. The one that I bought, I was assuming it would just be close. I didn't think it was actually gonna fit. So it doesn't fit. So I jacked the car up a lot more. We're off the ground. Jack's under there. I'm not crawling under, so the jack stands aren't touching, but don't worry about it. Was able to get the downpipe in from the bottom up. It goes all the way in. We touched there, like you could get it to mount up to the back of the turbo, but you're touching transmission and touching firewall, so looks like it's gonna be a custom job here, which I'm very excited about that. Not. So for right now, what I'm gonna do is just order a 90-degree and just come straight up, just to get the car running. So when I put the base tune on it, I could get it running. I could actually take it around the block, make sure everything works. A lot of new parts are going on this thing, so that's done for now, I guess. So now that I kind of knew that wasn't gonna work anyway, we'll get to the actual point of this video, fueling. So when I was taking this thing apart, I was kind of just doing it, and I was an idiot, and I didn't pay attention to which one the fuel filter was on. So the fuel filter should be on the send line. I have two of them here, and I don't know which one's which. So what I got to do right now is put a hose on each of them so they don't just shoot all over my garage, and put them each into like a separate container. Turn the fuel pump on, give it power, and then see which one fills up, and then we could just go with that one being the send, and then we could start routing our fuel lines. I'm actually gonna check my fuel rail because I feel like now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like it's a -6. Kind of looks a little smaller, so that's gonna suck. Going over the fittings, I'm gonna have to order some new ones, some extras. I have a couple of these. I only have two of those. This fitting is supposed to go on hard line and convert it to AN line, and the problem with this is the female side, so I'm gonna have to order two more of these. Then I'll probably just wind up ordering some for the fuel pressure regulator, so probably another two, so I guess we're up to 4 now. And then, I mean, I'll see how much line I have. I don't know if I'm gonna need more line, but as of now, I think I just need 4 of those, so I'm not gonna be able to complete this today, but I'll be able to get further along with it to know what else I need to complete it. So if that makes sense, we're good. So I have the fuel thing set up to figure out which line goes where, so that's one thing there. And then the other line I have connected, it's very dark, but it's going down into a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm gonna hopefully just touch the one lead of my relay that's back there that I'm gonna wind up disconnecting because I made a whole relay panel, which I'll show you in another video. Hopefully I just connect that to power and fuel pump turns on, and then we should figure out which one's the send and which one's the return. So cross your fingers for me and we'll see if it works. So I'm gonna leave you guys facing this one. The 5-gallon bucket's down there. I mean, you could kind of see it right there, but you're not gonna be able to tell if any fuel comes out. So we're gonna see if fuel comes out of that one, because I kind of have a feeling it might be that one, but I don't really remember. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember. So let's see. I need a longer wire. Give me a second. I gotta splice wire. All right, we're gonna try this again. This is take 2. Hopefully I hooked the relay up right, and hopefully my battery isn't completely dead because it's just been sitting there for a while. So let's try it out. I heard it. Let's see. So you probably heard it, and you definitely didn't see it because it's not in that bottle. It is in the 5-gallon bucket at the bottom. It's wet. Definitely fuel in there. Obviously, it's a bucket that I don't really use often since it's filled with cement. So I'm just gonna go dispose of this fuel, and then we know which one's which, and then we're gonna start with the fueling system. So since we figured out which is the fuel feed line / send, whatever, I'm gonna wind up cutting it. I have a little pipe cutter somewhere. Oh, my brake line kit. I have one, and then I have other ones, I guess. So, gonna have this fitting is gonna go on. Hopefully this works. This is supposed to seal your hard line and convert it into AN. So this is gonna go on there. Then we're gonna go with this guy into there, straight into the, well, obviously the in part of the fuel filter, and then another one out. And then we'll figure out which fittings we're gonna use to send it up to the rail, and then I'm just gonna have to order the more fittings for the fuel pressure regulator. These guys, the middle one, I'm gonna need one for the bottom and one for the side, just to send it in and back out. Let me get cracking on this. Hook this up. We can hook it up to the rail, and then we just need the return for the rail. So we're gonna be underneath the car, cutting a fuel line. Put some glasses on, get some gloves, I guess, some rubber gloves, because even though the fuel's probably gonna drip all over you anyway, but I guess throw some on. And some light, get some light. Very difficult to get you under here, but this line right, a horrible angle. It's this line right here. I feel like I could show you that. So I'm probably gonna try to cut it down here somewhere. I should be able to make the fuel filter work over here. So I need to find a wrench to take that out, and then hopefully get a little play in the line to do this. So I'm gonna take you out of here so I don't get fuel and shit all over the camera, and I guess I will show you after it's done. So join me again. I'm gonna show you from underneath the car. Get all the fittings on up to the fuel filter. Then we gotta send that up to the rail. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. It's the fitting, turns hard line into AN filter, and then I just gotta worry about the line coming up from there to the rail. You can kind of see it down there. It's a little hidden, not so much in the open, but you can still see it, but it's not open. So I might try to run that up, maybe underneath the intake manifold, and then I could come up right from here into the rail. I can get rid of that in a second. Or I could just run it straight up and then maybe even zip tie it underneath the rail. But I don't have a 180 degree fitting. I have a 90 and like a 45. So I'm thinking underneath the manifold and then right up to the rail might be my best bet. So as you see, I have it running underneath the intake manifold just to make it a little neater. I probably could use more than just a 90. I think like the next one up is like a 120, but I'm gonna leave it at the 90 degree fitting because I don't feel like ordering new ones, and I made that already and it's working. Next I gotta do the fuel pressure regulator. I have that mounted in just a random hole that was already threaded in the strut tower. I made up one of the lines for the return from the back end of the fuel rail, so that's gonna go from there, from back here, and then down, and then up to the side of the fuel pressure regulator. Now I just gotta do the same thing with the return line that I did with the feed, which is cut it and then put on that other fitting. Then once that's on, then I could just figure out what parts I need to order, throw those on, and then the whole fuel system's done. So that's a big plus. I wanna try to wash my truck before I go to work, so I have to leave in like 45 minutes, so I wanna bang this out quick. I don't even have to make the line, but I could cut that, throw the other fitting on. The line shouldn't take long. Maybe I'll just do the line quick. So let me shut up and do that, and then we'll give a little recap. I have the Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, and if you didn't know how to hook up a fuel pressure regulator, which I didn't before this either, comes with some instructions that you just basically figure out what your setup is. To have a regular single fuel rail setup, a returnless fuel rail setup, and a dual rail. So this is obviously a single, and you see I hooked up the fuel filter to the one side of the fuel rail, which would be this end. So then it comes through the fuel rail to the side of the fuel pressure regulator, and then the bottom is the return. I mean, the whole system is the return, but like the bottom is the one that goes back into your stock fuel lines. All right, thank you guys for joining me on this quick-ish video. Wasn't actually too much of a pain in the ass. I was kind of dreading doing this, but it turned out it wasn't a pain in the ass. Join me on the next one, because we're going to be getting more and more complete, and we're another step closer to starting. So that's awesome. So join me again. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.